Welcome to the Disciple Making Church podcast. I'm Mike Keaton, and I am one of the trainers here at Impact Ministries, and I am joined today with Ken Adams, the founder of Impact Ministries and lead pastor of Crossroads Church, where we both get to serve and lead out the disciple making mission. And so, Ken, we're glad you're here with us as well and joining us today, so thank you for that. And Ken, one of the things that we often like to do for our listeners and our viewers is really just talk all things disciple making.
That's right.
And share like things we've learned in the past, maybe even some new things that we are currently experiencing in the disciple making mission, and then just offer trainings and so forth for everybody to lead out the mission that Jesus gave us. And so characteristically, that's what we do.
That's right.
So, but today we're going to do something a little bit different for you and share some stuff with you that's kind of the latest focuses of Impact Ministries.
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't you kind of share with our listeners or viewers a little bit what that would look like?
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what we were trying to do here, Mike. And you mentioned the fact that we try to kind of talk all things disciple making, and the reason we do that is because one of the things that we've discovered, and I think you've had the same experience I have, is that a lot of times the training that we have, theological training, seminary, whatever the case may be, sometimes kind of falls a little short of that in terms of, how do we really help the church to become a disciple-making church? And then also, too, I never sat under a disciple-making pastor, so what I've always learned is the opposite of that, right? So anyway, it's been really a part of our heart and our desire through Impact Ministries is to come alongside pastors and churches and at least provide, we're not the only, obviously, but at least a resource and a way of doing that. And so that's what you kind of expect every time that you follow us and every time that you watch one of our podcasts. But this is just one of those times where I felt like, sometimes people don't really know what all happens behind the scenes and what really is Impact Disciple Making Ministries all about. And so today it's a little bit more of kind of just an informational opportunity for us just to kind of share a little bit about what we do. And so so if you are new to Impact and you have been maybe checking out our podcast, but you're saying, so what exactly happens? Well, Impact Discipleship Ministries is really a bigger ministry that is a ministry that's trying to come alongside of churches and pastors and help people figure out how do we get back to doing what Jesus told us to do 2,000 years ago. And we're really trying to do that in every opportunity that God gives us. And really that means in many ways all around the world, actually. And so I just want to take a minute and share a little bit of that. We kind of think of it like this, Mike. First of all, is that we have our ongoing priorities, but then we have some special projects that we do. And so our ongoing priorities are basically four things we do, and that is, first of all, is we're just trying to get the word out, and we like to say that we're trying to expose people to the philosophy of disciple making. Right. So we're trying to get the word out to as many people in as many places as we can. So we go to conferences, we have book tables, we do podcasts like this, we do a newsletter, and all these kind of things people can find on our website, and all of it's just ways for us to help people learn what Jesus did. But then we're also trying to educate people in disciple-making principles. And so that's where we do training, like our disciple-making church seminar, where we do our disciple-making pastor. Even a new one we have in the works is called the disciple-making leader. And so we offer opportunities to come alongside churches. So they're not just understanding the philosophy, but they're learning what does it look like and how do we do it. Right. And then the third thing we do is trying to establish churches in disciple-making pathways. And so we're trying to help people figure out how do we lead the church to become a pathway of disciple making, which is what we ought to be doing anyway. In fact, we just did a podcast on that.
That was our last one.
Yeah, and so then the last thing we do is that we're just trying to engage people in partnerships, and so that means that we are really and truly, we are always looking for people that will pray with us and pray for the ministry. We're looking for people that would become trainers and come alongside, and we are still in the process of developing some of that. We're looking for people that are willing to support and maybe even give and help help fund what we believe God's trying to do. Impact Ministries is an independent ministry, and we're a separate entity, and so we count on people's donations to be able to help accomplish what we're doing. And so that kind of leads me to something else I want to share, and that is that we do have not only these ongoing priorities that we just are always about, but we also have some special projects that we do. Yeah. And these special projects literally, for the most part, they change year to year. Mm-hmm. And just recently we had a vision casting time where we did a banquet, and we invited a lot of people that are interested in knowing more about Impact to come hear what these projects are in this coming year. And so I always take a minute and share what it is, because somebody today might say, hey, I'd like to be a part of that, I'd like to help with that. And so there's really about 5 things that we kind of have really earmarked for this coming year. One of them, actually a lot of them, involve what God's doing in the continent of Africa. As you know, God's just really opening some incredible doors there.
Yes, He is.
And we're just saying, Lord, we're willing, and how to, and I know that God's going to provide, right? So first of all is that we have been had the opportunity to connect with some churches and some pastors in the country of Zambia. And Zambia has become just a great place for us to share disciple-making principles and pathways, and it's amazing what God's doing there. We have been doing training there now for about 3 years in a row, and we see a movement of disciple-making beginning to start there. And so one of the cool things that's happened is that we've been able to purchase some property in Zambia.
That's amazing.
And it's crazy that we actually have a piece of property there. And now the next step is that we're planning to build a training center and a guest house so that teams can come in and teams can be housed there. Not just Impact, but other ministries as well can come in and have a place to stay. And that training center would also function as a church on the weekends. So, wow. So believe it or not, we can put all that on the ground for about $45,000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is, isn't it?
It would cost so much more than that in America.
It would cost millions to do that here. Wow. So we're asking, for God to bring people in that can maybe say, hey, I want to help fund that. I want to help be a part of that. We're just believing that God will provide that. And a part of that Africa door that's being opened is because of some of the training that we've done in Zambia. God has opened the door to Uganda. And who'd ever dreamed that we'd have an opportunity to go to Uganda? But we are actually planning to do a training in Uganda. It's going to actually start in Nigeria, and then we're going to end up in Uganda. And the opportunity exists that we are preparing for an event that will be close to 2,000 people.
That's amazing.
Attending, isn't it, Tom?
I mean, it's fantastic.
And so that means a lot of these people need help getting there. And so it's going to take us about $65,000 to pull this off. And that is the place that we're going to go, all the travel that will help people with, the lodging that will help people with, the food that will help people with, as well as printing the curriculum that we will have printed there and provide it for all these people, for 2,000 people.
That's incredible.
That's a lot of resources. Wow. And so, again, Mike, it's a God-sized project, right? Yeah. And we don't have it, but we are believing that there are some people there that have a heart for seeing disciple making happen. That's 100% of whatever people give goes to this actual ministry happening on the ground. And so another part of that of our projects we are really trying hard to create a digital access to a lot of our curriculum. What we have is that we have God opening up opportunities around the world, but the challenge is getting resources translated, printed, and distributed in all these other countries that can't provide or can't pay for it like they can here in the U.S. So we want to basically cover that cost so that everything we do in these developing countries is free.
Yeah.
And so we're working on that. We've already begun this digital curriculum, and so we have some of it done in English and some of it done in Spanish already, but we're going to do more. Excuse me. And we believe that it's going to take us around $30,000 to flesh all that out and get all that done. And so
that'll be a game changer, Ken.
It will be, won't it?
To put all those languages on a digital option for people to access, and you're over there in Uganda or somewhere else like that. I mean, it'll be a huge game changer.
Yeah, because in most of these countries, they don't have money, but they have phones.
And it's amazing.
They have phones, and so if they have the internet, we can make all this available.
That's fantastic.
And so, in fact, just this week, Mike, I'm doing a call with about 15 pastors from the Philippines, and so we're walking them through the disciple-making pastor. And this particular week, all of them are asking me, how can they get some of our resources? And I'm like, well, we can ship it to you, but the shipping to get just a dozen books there is over $600 to ship a dozen books.
Wow.
We literally went and talked to the people locally that would do that. And so it's just not practical.
Right.
But we can go to a country like this and be able to resource literally thousands of leaders that will represent thousands of churches, and man, who knows what God will do with it.
What a huge opportunity.
It is. It really is.
For us and for everybody, really, to be involved with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Along with that, we are looking to be able to try to help support some of what we call key point people in some of these countries. There's a guy in Zambia that has become our nation leader there, a guy that we've invested a lot of time in, and we would like to come alongside of him and provide some finances so that he can do the work there that we aren't able to do there. There's also, we have the same opportunity in the Dominican Republic. We have the same opportunity in India and in Cambodia and in Montenegro and in Serbia and Albania. And so we have these doors that God is opening and opportunities that that if it weren't for something like this podcast, most people wouldn't even know about. And so we're just trying to share what the opportunities are and what the need is, because we have way more need than we have resources at this point to cover the need. And so
it's incredible.
Yeah, and so and then one of the last things I'll share is that we're in the process of developing a coffee shop. It's called Impact Cafe, close to our church setting, and this coffee shop can be a place where all of the funds, the person that's providing, we have the space being provided generously by somebody, and so now all we have to do is go in, build out this coffee shop, and then all of the proceeds after our expenses, all the proceeds, 100% of that will go to disciple making and church planting around the world.
That's awesome.
And so we see it as an opportunity to have ongoing support just because people love to drink coffee. And so
it is big in our culture. We
see that as a great opportunity. And so we've got some significant funds raised, but another $30,000 would give us a lot of cushion to be able to get it done and do it well. So all total, we have a need for about $200,000 that we're praying for, and we're asking even some of the people that are listening now, or people who know people that would say, "Man, I want to invest in something that will outlast my life." That's what disciple making does.
That's right.
Disciple making is an investment in generations to come.
Right.
So really unapologetically, we ask people to consider giving to that and being a part of that, because it is literally it provides a dividend that lasts for eternity.
That's
honestly.
Right.
So if God lays it on your heart, you've kind of heard a little bit about who we are, what we do, and if God lays it on your heart to say, I want to be a part of that, I want to support that, then we would really appreciate that. And all you have to do that is to go to our website, and there's a place there where you can give, and you can just make your donation. And if you have to go through another means besides the website, just contact us, and we'll be happy to reach out to you and share with you how you can do that, or what we need to do to help you be able to transfer those resources to where it can be used.
Can somebody who's giving online give to just one of the efforts, or can they indicate that somehow, some way?
They could designate that as well.
Yeah,
so
good.
yeah, and the thing about it is that a lot of people don't know is that all the things that we do through Impact ultimately all of them are free of charge.
Yeah.
And so what we typically do is that we just ask for a suggested donation because there is a cost to everything we do. So it does take money to send a trainer and all these kind of things, but nobody will ever be told no for anything. And we just believe that there's enough people out there that are that believe in what we're doing, and basically Jesus himself said, if you will go and make disciples of all nations, I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. We believe that with his presence comes his provision. So we're trusting in him for that, Mike. We really are. And we believe that even today, maybe somebody that's listening to this would say, I want to be a part of that. And they can give a one-time donation, or they can give weekly, and all that would be there on the website. Very easy to connect with us and let us know how you could be a part of what we're doing. We want you to partner with us in that.
Ken, it's amazing, to hear about all these opportunities. And just this morning, actually, meeting with my Impact group, my guys, we were reading the passage where the Apostle Paul was praying about, just pray for open doors. Pray that God will give us an open door, an opportunity.
Yeah.
And, I know that when you were really getting the foundations of Impact Ministries put together, it was really focused on trying to flesh it out in a local congregation as its pastor.
That's right.
But now to see opportunities in Nigeria, Uganda, Zambia, and all these other options like you were mentioning all over the world, really. It's just amazing how God has blessed that. And I think a lot of that could be that his favor, but then, Impact is very generous, like you just said.
Yeah.
We make them free of charge.
Yeah.
And so this could be a very good opportunity as an open door for somebody else to be a part of that.
Yeah. And Mike, also too, is we, kind of make an appeal to individuals, but this is a way a church can be involved and can actually designate some of their missions budget to Impact Ministries, because it will be a part of, making a difference in the world. It's a great way to allocate some of your mission spending to be a part of that. And it's funny because you hear all this stuff, but when you go and you see it working and you see it happening somewhere, it changes everything. There's a guy on the other side of this camera right here just told me this week that he was at one of our training events, and he said it was so cool for me to be able to see firsthand how these pastors in these other places actually get it, and they actually see it and are trying to implement it in their location. So it is one thing to hear it. It is another thing to go and see it.
Right.
And when you go in these places like Uganda and Zambia, and when you go to Serbia, where I was a couple weeks ago, and you see these pastors that have so little training, so little instruction, and their hearts are so right. They're just trying to help the body of Christ be a place that's making disciples. It doesn't take you long to realize that the need is real and it exists. And we just trying to do a little bit of that.
Right.
Make a little dent in it. So.
Well, it's a joy to share the mission that Jesus gave us, and the fleshing that out in a local congregation never gets old.
That's right.
It really doesn't. So these are some great opportunities for you to be a part of. But also, we do have trainings that we have ongoing all the time.
Yeah.
But a really big one that we have coming up, really in just a little over 3 months, really. Yeah. If you think about it, it's just right around the corner. Yeah. After the new year is our Disciple Making Summit.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell our listeners and viewers about that real quick?
Bro, it's coming like a freight train.
It will be here.
And so, but it is a great opportunity for you to come and to learn some of what we talked about, this disciple-making philosophy of Jesus. And so we call it the Disciple Making Summit. We do it the last weekend of January, so I believe it's right around the 30th that you're going to want to put that on your calendar and save the date, and we'll open up registration soon. But you can go to our website and keep up with that all the time. But the Disciple Making Summit is an annual event where we bring in some of the biggest impactful, people involved in disciple making around the world to be able to speak to our congregation, but also to speak to all the other folks that show up from other churches and other places and other countries. And so we anticipate, somewhere between 700 and 800 people to be here for this conference. And so it's a 2-day event. It starts on a Friday afternoon and ends up on a Saturday afternoon. And so I just would encourage everybody to keep following that, keep looking at that, and as soon as registration opens up, get signed up and bring a team with you. It's not very expensive. It's about $30 or $40 to come. I don't even remember the exact amount, but it's not that expensive.
Crazy compared to other costs of other conferences and things like that.
So it's very affordable. You can bring a team with you. This year we got some great keynote speakers that are going to be here. Bill Hull, who has probably written and influenced disciple making in recent years as much as anybody on the planet. Bill Hull will be here. He'll be one of our keynote speakers. We also have a guy named Justin Gravitt, who is with the Navigators organization, and he oversees the church division of that, and he's going to be one of our keynote speakers. Very accomplished author and trainer and leader, and has been a pastor as well, I believe. And then also a guy named Jim Halstead, who is with Go and Tell Ministries, and he's going to be here. And all three of these guys are going to be great to learn from and to listen to, as well as probably about a dozen breakouts that will be offered over those couple days. And so, this is an event that will be worth your time and your energy and your effort to be here.
Right.
So we're excited about that as well, Mike.
Yeah, and it's always great, and we look forward to it so much because it really is a good nuts and bolts experience. You'll get a lot of practical training and tools. You'll get the big picture as well. So it's all around just a great opportunity for folks to experience and get exposed to the disciple-making mission that Jesus gave us. We also have other ongoing things all the time. And so if you just went to impactdisciples.com, then you would be able to notice the resources that we have there, the trainings where we can come to your church and do a seminar on how to, have a disciple-making church, or for pastors to join a pastor's group, equipping group for how to be a disciple-making pastor. Those things are ongoing all the time. And so all that information is available on our website, impactdisciples.com. I encourage you to go there, reach out to us. We'd love to just come alongside and hear about what's going on in your ministry and how we can come alongside you guys and help in any kind of way and share some of our learnings. But it's great to have you with us today. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time.